My lord, welcome to Pribyslavitz. That is to say, welcome back to Pribyslavitz after all these years. Well, what's left of it.
Not to worry, Marius. I'm glad to be back in my old hamlet. Although, it seems to have aged about as gracefully as I have over the years.
I beg to differ, sir. It's quite dilapidated, unlike your good self, but at least it's safe now. Thanks in part to Henry here, who also saved me from a predicament that cost me valuable time. Who knows? If it hadn't been for him, we might not even be talking now.
Well, lad, in the end, you managed things in your own way, I see. Just as you said you would.
I did my best, sir. There was no reasoning with them. They thought since it was 4-1, I'd be no trouble.
I expect that was a fatal mistake.
Just so, sir.
No loss. At least they won't be troubling us again. Let's get down to the matter in hand, shall we? What state is Pribyslavitz in?
Sir, in my official capacity as locator, I am gratified to inform you that the hamlet of Pribyslavitz may be renewed. And indeed it offers prospects of considerable expansion beyond its former limits.
Splendid. Finally, some good news for this province.
Well, badly needed, too.
So, what have you discovered so far? I want to know all the details.
We had a scout around.
We conducted a basic survey, from which we can make a preliminary outline of the parcels. I already have in my head an initial plan of what can be built where.
We should certainly have a church. I'd like to preserve the existing one.
That should present no serious obstacles. The building is in much better condition than we anticipated. But extensive reconstruction will be required.
That's to be expected.
А можно мы все-таки ратушу повыше церкви, ну, чтобы не она доминировала над всем поселением, а? Ну, чуть-чуть повыше, ну, хотя бы на полметра.
There's a stream here, and a well, right in the middle of the village.
Yes, and there are abundant woods around. Clearing them will provide both extra land and timber supplies that we can use right away.
Right now, I believe we're standing on the village green, aren't we?
The future green, that is. The village centre will comprise at least 6 large buildings to begin with. We can't fit any more than that here, so there will be other buildings away from the square, in particular more extensive structures.
I'm glad to hear it. I never expected you'd find so much space here in the middle of the woods. The building work we're about to engage in is only the first part of my plan. Later, we'll clear more forest for agricultural land and build more farmhouses. But for now, we'll have to focus on more sensible goals.
As you wish, my lord.
A village isn't a village without villagers. You'll need new subjects. Even preparing the ground for a building will need lots of labour. Where can we find so many people, sir?
You sound skeptical, lad. But it's a good question. I've already given it some thought. I've agreed with Radzik and Hanish that we shall make an announcement in Rattay to invite people to move here and help with the construction, which will bring them many benefits, but also obligations. In addition, I expect the prospects of a new home will appeal to your former Skalitz neighbors, more than a makeshift camp by the castle walls.
They'll be delighted, sir.
A splendid solution, sir. I've also been concerned about how to bring settlers here, but now it seems there will be no shortage of new inhabitants after all.
Rebuilding a whole village must cost a king's ransom, though.
It's true it won't come cheap. Before the tradesmen settle here and start producing and trading, it will be necessary to invest a certain amount of capital.
A certain amount? How much exactly?
I wouldn't venture to state a precise amount at this point, but I expect it will come to some thousands, even tens of thousands of groschen.
That much? I hope you're good at haggling.
We shall, of course, attempt to procure everything at the best possible price, but raising a settlement from the ashes you see around you is a costly business. Nevertheless, I can assure you, my lord, that if all goes well, the investment shall all come back to you with interest.
I hope I shall live to enjoy it, Master Marius. It seems things are finally looking up. We routed the bandits in battle, and Henry took care of the remnants. When can we get to work?
Right away, as far as I'm concerned. All we need is people and the necessary funds. And we'll need someone to keep order, at least in the interim.
True. I'll leave you some of my men.
If I may, I would recommend quickly appointing a bailiff to take responsibility for the renewal of the village, its coffers and its citizens.
True. First things first. Since you understand these matters best, you shall take charge of the land parceling and building works. You'll be available to the bailiff, but answerable directly to me.
I'd be honored, sir. Thank you.
And, as regards the office of bailiff, what about you, Henry?
Yes, sir?
You've proven yourself well. You've demonstrated that you're capable of solving problems, and you command the respect of your former Skalitz neighbors.
Well, I'm not so sure.
And you're also capable of maintaining law and order.
I must concur.
So, let us expedite matters. Henry, I hereby appoint you to the office of bailiff of the hamlet of Pribyslavitz, in my domain.
My lord, it's a great honor. Thank you.
You will oversee the initial renewal and administration of the village that will set the ground for further development. But don't imagine it'll be a bed of roses, lad. Being bailiff doesn't mean you can do whatever you like. If you don't treat the settlers rightly, I'll soon find out and relieve you of your office. Besides, we can't spare a single groschen from the Talmberg coffers now, with the province in chaos. So, you'll have to cover the cost for the building work from your own purse.
Me? But Marius said it would cost a fortune.
True, but from what I hear, you know how to get your hands on coin enough. So, I expect you'll manage it just fine.
I'd like to know who's been spreading such gossip.
And I am assigning you certain specific tasks. You must ensure the rebuilding of the church. That means complete reconstruction, wall paintings, and a new altar. See to it that in the future, the village will be capable of supporting a certain number of people. For that, you will need to ensure the construction of essential artisans' buildings. And ultimately, the village must produce sufficient earnings to fund further expansion.
But, sir, I've never done...
I understand your concerns, but you'll be handsomely rewarded. I shall grant you the proceeds from the whole village for the first 5 years, and you have my permission to use the surrounding woods and land as you see fit.
Well, that's, I mean... Are you sure I'm the right man for the job, sir? It's a lot of responsibility.
As you said yourself, Henry, it's a great honor. Besides, you won't be alone in it. I'll assist you and supervise the construction work.
Phew. All right, then.
So, we're agreed. You'll give this document to the Rattay bailiff. He'll make the announcement to invite settlers, which should ensure enough people to begin work. At the same time, your official appointment as bailiff will be announced.
I don't know what to say, sir.
I'm sure you won't disappoint me, Henry. And now I must get back to my duties at Talmberg. Send word when everything is prepared.
Certainly, sir. Have a safe journey.
Farewell, sir.
До меня, говорит, доходили слухи, что ты умеешь деньги из воздуха делать. Это все Куна пизданул. Про 15 тысяч, да? Черт рогатый.
What now?
Before we can start building as much as an outhouse, we'll have to get the whole area cleared, and we'll need lots of people to work the land and parcel it out.
Right. So I suppose I'd better get to Rattay first and see to that announcement.
Indeed. I'm sure the bailiff will be more than happy. It will get the refugees out of his hair, and the citizens will stop complaining. I'll stay here for now and start planning the building plots. As soon as the labourers arrive, I'll start allocating work to them.
Так, хорошо. Единственное, что я знаю о процессе строительства, это то, что здесь где-то должен быть сундучок с деньгами, который надо пополнить первоначальным взносом, чтобы все было спокойненько. И этот взнос должен быть достаточно объемным. Я надеюсь, вот эта желтая палатка... ну тут, в принципе, ничего не поменялось, да? Я вскрыть, видимо, просто забыл. Ну или в ратуше. А как они ратушу построят, если денег не будет? Ну я сомневаюсь, что здесь где-то можно какой-то сундучок. Здесь пока что бардак и хаос. Ладно, поехали в Ротайку. Но вот эта задачка мне прям очень нравится. У меня прям глаза загорелись заняться этим. Всегда подкрадываешься? Хороший конь. Как собака, только конь. Хрен доберешься до вашего рота. Столько людей по дороге умерло.
I have a document for you from Sir Divish. It concerns the renewal of Pribyslavitz.
The village you drove those bandits out of?
The very same.
So it's true then. Good. Good. Let me see that document then.
Here it is.
So what have we here? It says I should announce that anyone interested may move to Pribyslavitz to live and work. And Sir Radzig and Sir Hanush also give their consent. In that case, let's not waste any time. Come along with me.
Goodbye.
Да ё-моё, Да ё-моё,
Vegetables, fruits, apples, cucumbers, onions, come get 'em.
Bread, rolls and pretzels.
Кто-нибудь вообще придет? Ну, кроме этих двух бомжей. Постою рядом. Я ж как участвую в этом дерьме.
Hey, Henry's come to see us.
Вот они, мои будущие батраки.
Hear ye, hear ye. It is hereby announced, in the name of Sir Hanush and Sir Divish, that you, the citizens of Ratai, as well as those who have found temporary refuge here, are permitted to move to the hamlet of Pribyslavitz to the north of Talmberg Castle, wherein you shall be vouchsafed a new life and new dwellings, providing that you shall contribute to the renewal of the hamlet. All those who choose to accept this offer shall be exempted from payment of taxes for a period of 5 years. They shall be permitted also to make use of timber from the surrounding woods and water from the streams. The hamlet of Pribyslavitz lies in the domain of Sir Divish of Talmberg, and all who settle there shall be duty-bound to him. It is furthermore hereby announced that Henry of Skalitz is appointed to the administration of Pribyslavitz and the office of bailiff therein, which office and privilege have been conferred upon him by Sir Divish for loyalty and services rendered. I would therefore recommend that our Skalitz friends consider this offer very seriously, as nothing better is likely to come your way anytime soon.
Hey, where's your torch? You can't walk around here in the dark without a light.
Так, задание «Пропавший в лесу» выполнено. Место, что зовется домом. Задание началось. Круто. Что делать? Ехать деньги отвозить? Поговорить с Мариусом. Поехать ночью, не поехать ночью. Звездюлей же получу. Но мне дня не хватает, чтобы туда-сюда мотаться, если честно. О!
This won't take long.
Ага.
Yeah.
Бежит со стрелой в колени. Запыханный.
Yeah.
Серьезно, тебе весело? Ну давай, еще повеселимся.
Christ.
А вот теперь ты про Христа вспомнил, да? Так, пойдем пешком их добьем. Их там вроде не сильно до хера. Ротик свой закрой. Вот эти бандюки прибыльные. Надо в Тальмберге остановиться и продать шмотки там.
Who's there?
Хер знает.
What are you doing here? You're done for, fucker.
Кто холоп? Я землевладелец, говно.
Добро дело.
Кто пердела? Все равно на броню принимает, даже когда блок срабатывает, все равно он проскакивает. Вот, по броне получил. Кровавая срака 10. А какой тут городок поблизости есть, чтобы вот там продать и помыться, и подлечиться, ну, чтобы отдохнуть, потому что я не выспался ни хрена. Придется все-таки сделать круг через Тальмберг, потому что там есть все, что мне нужно. Плюс тут у охотника есть какая-то задачка. Я думаю, мы ее возьмем. Ну, просто чтобы не порожняком бегать по этим территориям. 5 часов в бане просидел. Ну, это рекорд, конечно. Но зато отдохнул. Наконец-то. После нескольких дней, приведших к упадку сил. А, это не здесь. А, я понял. Это же у того хера, у которого дверь подпертая была чем-то. Это же у него, по-моему, да? Надо в таверну заехать. Смотреть, не удастся ли продать что-нибудь. Конь, я понимаю, запах не очень, но это же конь, а не вот это вот.
Good afternoon.
Ну, хотя бы от перегруза избавился.
What do you need?
Master Huntsman, is there any work for me here?
There's always something that needs doing. You're that Scarlet's lad, aren't you? Sir Radzig's lackey.
Sir Radzig is my liege, and I serve him faithfully. But that doesn't make me a lackey.
As you wish. What matters to me is that you're no layabout looking for easy work. I have a job here I can't give to just anyone.
I'm listening.
We've been having terrible problems with poachers lately. In Sir Divish's forests, we've been finding gutted entrails of deer and rabbit nooses all over the place. But no sign of the bastards who put them there.
And you want me to track down the poachers?
Indeed. Whatever you learn will be useful to me.
Do you suspect anyone?
Well, it's hard to say, but seeing how much harm they're causing, I'd say they're no crofters looking for a Sunday roast.
Shouldn't you be dealing with the poachers yourself?
I should, you're quite right. But when I ask the local folk anything, their mouths close up like clams. They're more scared of me than the devil.
Do you think the locals are in on it?
Well, I don't know, maybe. But even if not, they'll never talk to me. They're scared I'll dig some skeleton out of their cupboard. You know, the smaller the village, the bigger the secrets. That's why I need an outsider to ask for me.
I understand. I'll try to find out something about them. Any advice about where to start?
Certainly. Ask around the village. Somebody must have seen or heard something. And it wouldn't hurt to ask in the inn in the glade, the one on the road towards Neuhof. I've heard they serve good venison, and no shortage of it.
That's clear enough. As soon as I hear anything, I'll let you know.
Thanks for your help, lad.
God be with you.
Знакомая харчма. Неужто Олег, или как его там, с браконьерами икшает? Да он со всеми икшается, господи, он помогал мне маскировку сделать. Это же ужас. А где деревня? Что ты называешь деревней? Видимо, в этой деревне. Давай попробуем поспрашивать. Здесь же вроде нет другой деревни.
God save you, good knight. What can I do for you?
I'd like to find out about the poachers round here who've been stealing game recently.
I don't know anything about that. But if it's gossip you're after, go and speak to Brada the tanner. He always spins a good yarn. You'll find him at the end of the village, the last house on the way to the quarry. Goodbye.
Брада. А ведь кожевенник тоже что-то умеет делать, да ведь? Я к ним никогда не заходил.
Good day, Henry. God save you, good knight. What can I do for you?
Ну как никогда? Когда-то заходил.
I heard you have poacher trouble.
Certainly do. They're running wild around here. And they kill a lot more than they take. Many a time I've seen a carcass just thrown in a ditch.
Why would someone just toss their catch in the woods? It doesn't make sense.
The wagging tongues say they're just doing it to spite the huntsman.
Do you have any idea who the poachers could be?
If I knew, the bastards would be strung up by now.
Don't tell me you've heard nothing at all.
Well, I did hear that Thomas, that fellow who works at the bathhouse, was mouthing off recently. saying he'd go and bag himself some game and lay on a right feast for the village girls.
I see. Has anyone seen those poachers with their own eyes?
No, just the dead game they leave behind. But blacksmith Betty saw some goings-on in the woods.
Goings-on? What's that supposed to mean?
Well, that's what she said, and I ain't one to pry.
Why would anyone want to take revenge on the huntsman?
He's not the best-liked man in the village. We all know that. And then there are those who say Hannikin Hare is back.
Who's Hannikin Hare?
You're not from around here, are you? The Hare's quite the Talmberg legend. He used to be master huntsman here once, but then he ran off.
And why did he run?
Well, it just so happens I know the answer to that. Some big important nobleman came to Talmberg around then, and they made a grand occasion of it. And in the midst of it all, Hare had a falling out with some man-at-arms and knocked him in the moat. The poor bugger broke his neck. They picked the Hare up, but before they could take him before the court, he vanished.
Why take revenge on Master Huntsman Nicholas?
Because of Nicholas's wife, Margaret. Hare had his eye on her back then, but she didn't care for him and he was fuming. Well, and after he disappeared, Nicholas got his post.
Where did he run to?
No one really knows. They say he's hiding in secret tunnels beneath the castle, but that's all fairy tales. It's been years. As I see it, he's underground all right, 6 feet down and cold.
I want to ask about something else. Thanks. That's all I need to know.
See you later.
Так, целая куча людей, которые что-то знают. В первую очередь, понятное дело, бани. А вот и нет. Тут есть на С что-то прямо рядом.
God's blessings.
I've got a few questions about these poachers.
So ask.
I heard you saw something fishy in the forest.
That's right, I did.
Can you describe what you saw?
It was after dark, I remember that. I went up past the castle along by the clearing, and I saw someone had lit a fire, and there were figures singing and dancing, and I could hear the whistling of a pipe. And I could smell roast meat. It was like a feast of some sort. Only I thought maybe it was some witch's Sabbath, so I was afraid to stay too long in case they saw me.
Did you recognize anyone there? Someone from the village, maybe?
No. Like I said, it was dark. All I could see was shadowy figures moving around.
Did you hear any familiar voices?
No. But I heard girls' laughter, goblets clinking, a piper playing. It sounded just like any feast.
Where is the clearing?
A short walk north of the castle. There's a track past the woodcutter's camp that takes you there.
Thanks. What do you make of this poaching that's been going on?
It's clear as day. Hannikin Hare's back. And putting those antlers on Nicholas's house? Well, we all know what that means, don't we? It's the sign of a cuckold, you mark my words.
You mean to say his wife's cheating on him?
All I'm saying is she might be feeling the urge. It happens in the best of families.
Well, you're the first who's certain of Hare's return. So far, I've just heard vague rumors.
Well, now, I wouldn't say I'm completely sure. I suppose some other mischief maker could have done it, but better the devil you know. And everyone hereabouts knows Hare.
You were singing a different song not long ago.
So? Why do you want to know so much, anyway?
It's nothing to you, but I'm helping Nicholas unmask that local poaching gang.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, now you know. And you also know not to keep anything from me. So, what's the story with that Hare?
All right, I'll tell you what I know. But promise not to tell Nicholas I said it.
I'll do what I can, but I need to let him know what I discover. So, out with it.
It's to do with Margaret, his wife. They say it's all because of her.
Keep going.
I know full well Hare's here, because Margaret admitted as much.
What did she tell you?
That he waited in the woods till she came by and they exchanged some words. Words was all she told me. Who knows what they actually got up to?
And what did they speak about?
I don't know, but if Nicholas knew they'd met, he'd most likely kill her.
You're sure she wasn't saying it in jest?
Oh no, Margaret wouldn't joke about something like that.
Все интереснее и интереснее. Я все лучше и лучше понимаю, почему у чувака подвал палкой подперт. Там явно что-то не то.
Who's this Hannekin Hare, anyway?
Hannekin Hare? There was a time he was master huntsman here, and Margaret was set to be his wife. But then he got himself accused of murder, and fled before they could hang him. Margaret and his job both ended up going to Nicholas.
So what's the story between Hare and Margaret?
It was complicated. He wanted her, and she wanted him too, I reckon. At least for a while. But then she hitched up with Nicholas, and now she says she never had a thought of wedding Hannekin Hare.
So what went on between Hare and the huntsman?
Those two? There was no love lost between them from the moment Hare arrived. And then Margaret got involved. It was a messy business.
Do you think Hare really killed that man?
Who knows the truth of it now? I did find it all a bit odd. Hare never was much of a hothead. But then again, no one really knew him that well. And Margaret never wanted to speak of it. Wouldn't hear a word about it.
That's all I need. Thanks.
Это любопытная история. Но кто-то в ней активно врет. Так, купальня и вот это вот, да? А все остальное дальше. Типа вот она дала координаты поляны. А там корчма, которая может иметь чисто связь. Так, Д. Как бы Д, но через Б. А, подожди, это не то. Это же не купалки.
Good afternoon.
I'd like to find out about the poachers round here who've been stealing game recently.
If you ask me, there's some questions best left unanswered. But go and see Elena if you're determined. That old gossip will tell you all there is to know.
I'd like to ask you about Hannekin Hare.
I'm sorry, but I really don't want to talk about that.
Listen, I know the Hare is here, and I know you spoke with him. And if you don't want your husband to find out, you better start talking.
Wait! You can't say something like that to Nicholas. God knows what he'd do.
It's in your hands whether I tell him or not.
All right, all right. What do you want to know?
How were things between you and Hare back then?
There was nothing between us. Hannekin Hare impressed my father with all his talk of noble blood. But I couldn't stand him, and I didn't want to marry him. And then it made no odds after he ran away.
So you didn't want him? I only asked because I've heard differently.
That's village talk. Of course folk gossip. Mostly they just want to hurt Nicholas.
Did Hare really commit the murder?
God in heaven, how should I know? Anyway, it doesn't matter now.
That remains to be seen. What did you talk about in the woods with Hannekin Hare?
I see Betty's mouth's been busy.
Don't blame her. I had to work hard to weasel it out of her. Now tell me.
Oh, all right. Well, it seems Hannekin Hare's exile has addled his brain. He told me he'd go off with me, that he still loves me and nonsense like that.
And what about you?
What do you mean? I was so shocked, I couldn't even scream.
Is that all he told you?
He said if I change my mind, I'm to hang a garland of forget-me-nots on the house and wait for him at that place of ours.
Where was it you saw him exactly?
I wish I could tell you. The whole thing was like a fever dream. I almost got lost trying to get out of the forest. Even if I remembered, it wouldn't be any use to you. Hannikin Hare moves through the forest like a ghost. He knows every tree root off by heart.
С одной стороны, хочется съездить и расследовать все другие улики, но с другой стороны, вот же, это же быстрый способ.
I want you to hang that garland on the lodge.
But I don't want to go anywhere with him.
You don't have to go anywhere. But tell me, where's that secret meeting place of yours?
On the way to Ujits. Back then, we used to meet by the great big beech tree, right next to the wayside shrine. There's a lovely view there, you see.
And what time will he be waiting there for you?
At dawn. What are you going to do to Hare?
Never you mind. The main thing is it will all get sorted out. And that's all that matters, isn't it?
I suppose so. Very well, then. I'll hang the garland for you.
That'll be everything.
Так, ну тогда у нас есть время до рассвета еще послушать дополнительные истории. Как раз там под дубом и заночуем, если что.
Show yourself.
Да тут я... Тут, не переживайте. Я ищу вашего сотрудника. А, вот он.
God save you.
I'm here to find out about the poachers gang, and I need to ask a few questions.
Well, ask away. I don't have all day.
I heard you were yelling in the tavern that you were off to hunt some venison.
Look here. I don't know who you are, but you should watch your mouth.
I will, don't you worry. So what happened then?
What? Nothing. It was just the beer talking. I got pissed and started spouting shit. Didn't mean a word of it.
Maybe not. That remains to be seen. Blacksmith Betty saw people feasting in the woods, and she says there was a nice smell of venison. What do you know about it?
Nothing. I wasn't there.
And I don't suppose you'll tell me who was?
No, because I wasn't there.
That'll do me. I hear there's been trouble with poachers recently.
I don't have time to talk to strangers. Good day to you. Good luck then.
Так, этот хер... Подожди. На нем все еще висит метка. Узнать, что случилось. Встречаться с Яном тоже не обязательно. Вообще все не обязательно. Посмотреть поляну обязательно. Слышь, черт! Ну-ка, иди сюда.
I'm here to find out about the poachers gang, and I need to ask a few questions.
Well, ask away. I don't have all day.
Нет. Нужно найти какое-то доказательство, чтобы его прижать. Так просто он разговаривать явно не будет. Ну, у меня есть время мотануться в корчму. Но задание с корчмы, кстати, снялось. Теперь основа является здесь. Встретиться с Яном, осмотреть поляну. На Е. Чё, конечно, поехали поляну смотреть.
Yeah.
Эти бесючие оповещения об активации ненужных пассивок. Почему их никто не прибил до сих пор? Мне страшно подумать, в каком состоянии выйдет вторая часть, если эту 3 года пришлось допиливать мододелом. Потому что спустя 3 года и спустя выход всех DLC, все основные болезни игры как были неисправлены разработчиками, так и оставались неисправлены. Это говорит о том, что люди не понимают, что хотят видеть игроки в их игре. У них есть свое мнение, и они его гнут. А это значит, что и следующая игра будет копией предыдущей в плане стальных кустов, кривых боев и ненужных интерфейсных накладок. А значит, придется тоже ждать, прежде чем люди смогут превратить ее во что-то играбельное.
I'm guessing Nicholas won't be joining us. Who the devil are you?
My name is Henry, and I work for the Master Huntsman.
So are you going to arrest me?
I am.
All I ask is that you listen to me first.
Let me guess. You're going to tell me you're innocent.
I wouldn't presume. I've been poaching on the Divish estate, and I'll take the punishment I deserve. But the crime I was nearly strung up for, that one I didn't commit.
I've heard different things about your crime.
So I imagine. Lucas has told me the villagers still talk of me.
And how did it happen?
It's a long story.
I've got time to listen.
All right. But for you to understand, I have to start from the beginning. I was born as Hannikin Hare of Zalush, the eldest son of Sidney of Zalush. My house became sadly impoverished, and I became the master huntsman at Talmberg.
Gamekeeper turned poacher. I see. That's quite a transformation.
Nicholas gave me no choice.
What happened to your family?
My father lost his influential friends and the money with them. After his death, I inherited only his debts. There was nothing for it but to sell off all our possessions, see to my sister's welfare, and manage as best I could.
That sounds a rough deal.
Believe it or not, I never cared for the life of a nobleman. I spent my youth running free, hunting in the woods.
What happened between you and Nicholas?
I was falsely accused of murder. Henry of Lipa visited Talmberg, and the morning after the banquet in his honor, one of his men was found dead.
And didn't they have any cause to suspect you?
That's just it. They did. At the banquet, I got into a fight with the man.
I know Sir Hanish of Lipa. Was Sir Henry his father?
Indeed. He was on his way to Ratai to take charge of the fiefdom for young Sir Hans Capon.
Why did you get into a fight with him?
The fall of the House of Zalush was the work of the Lords of Lipa, and that fellow took great delight in reminding me of it.
And then what?
Nicholas began to pull strings. Several people came forward as witnesses to say they saw me with the fellow later that night.
Why would he have done that?
He wanted rid of me. We were both in love with the same lass, you see, and Margaret is his wife today. But back then, there was no question which of the two of us would win her. I was the huntsman of noble blood. And Nicholas was just plain Nick. Her father's preference was clear.
Do you know who did kill the man?
No. He was found in a ditch with his neck broken. He could have tripped and fallen, all on his own.
And that never occurred to anyone?
It did. But some people swore they'd seen us jostling on the drawbridge. Of course, that was Nicholas's work.
What did Margaret think of you?
She took me for a fool. She only had eyes for Nicholas, but I didn't see it then. In the end, she could have saved me.
How?
She could have told the truth. After the banquet, I was with her. But when they asked her, she said she hadn't seen me that night.
How did you get out of it?
What leads you to imagine I did?
Your head's still on your shoulders, so you must have escaped somehow.
I'm alive. But my name and my family's name has been dragged through the mud. For me, that's worse than the sentence waiting for me.
If you say so. But you still managed to get away.
Well, it's true I had the good fortune to escape from the dungeon.
An interesting story.
I can't complain of boredom. The question is, will anyone believe me?
Но я ему верю по какой-то причине.
This is one of the most insane stories I've heard lately.
That doesn't surprise me.
But something tells me you're speaking the truth, Anakin Hare.
Thank you. And if you want to help me, come to the old mine gallery in Broad Woods.
I'll be there.
I have a plan, but I need some help.
Задание «Ищите женщину». Она очень мутная. Это вот девка, она прям реально очень мутная. И как там и говорили, это все из-за нее нахрен. Я понял, почему я ему верю. Он один из нас. Он одет, как я. Это бригантина, это отличительная черта положительных персонажей, я все понял. Ну, относительно положительных.
So, what are you up to?
Working out how to get Nicholas's confession.
And how would you do that exactly?
Simple. I'll have him sign it. I've had the priest in Janowitz write me up a parchment. When Nicholas signs it, he'll admit to everything written down there.
How do you want to force him to do that?
He won't have a choice, or rather he will have, between his wife Margaret and the job of huntsman.
I'm not following this at all.
It's plain enough. We'll kidnap Margaret. That's to say, you'll kidnap Margaret while I distract Nicholas. If he wants to see her again, he won't have any choice.
Kidnapping? That doesn't seem like much of a way to clear your name.
No. Take a look around you, Henry. Sigismund kidnapped Wenceslas, his own brother. And Divish was abducted by Medek of Waldeck.
True, but Sigismund and Medek kidnapped the men they wanted to bargain with. You're thinking of taking a man's wife who's done nothing to deserve it.
And what of it? Those others did it for money or power. I'm doing it to redeem my honor. And since you mentioned Margaret, she's not all that innocent. I could have swung because of her.
But that confession's just a scrap of parchment with writing on it. What will happen to him after that?
That scrap of parchment is for Sir Divish and the provincial court. But we'll be generous to Nicholas and let him leave in peace before we deliver the confession to Taumberg.
So Nicholas will go free, and you'll clear your name?
Hopefully.
So what do I need to do?
I had Nicholas's prized hunting horn liberated. I'm sure Nicholas will recognize its sound from quite far off. I'll lure him out of the lodge at dawn.
And I'm meant to kidnap his wife while he's gone?
Of course, it would be best if she went with you voluntarily, but if not, you'll just have to drag her with you.
I don't know. What if there's trouble?
That's why I'm sending you. I trust you. But whatever happens, Margaret mustn't be hurt. When you get her, bring her here. Then we can decide what's next.
All right.
Don't forget, tomorrow at dawn.
Я такой, что даже не против, но в его плане куча неучтенных факторов. Но это как бы момент другой. А момент третий, а как ее похищать по местным механикам? Ну, была бы это РДР-ка, ну там лассо под ноги и весело везешь на крупе лошади. Здесь можно только перенести труп или вырубленный труп. Можно подсыпать ей снотворного, конечно. Но это надо по стелсу попасть в дом. На рассвете. Вопросов не меньше стало вообще ни разу. А вообще прикол в том, что, наверное, надо чуть пораньше рассвета туда явиться.
When I think how you wiped the floor with a miller.
Oh, that was easy. He was talking utter nonsense.
Everybody believed him, though, until you put him in his place.
Ow!
Even you?
Ah!
Look, you're not a...
Ow!
Ты дебил? Ребята, а вы, может, что-то знаете про банщика?
All the best.
Good evening.
Where do I go to sleep?
In the loft. There's a door next to the chicken coop. Inside, there's a ladder up to the loft. You'll find it all set up for
One beer
sleeping.
for me.
Take care.
Дверь, курятник, лестница. Это курятник. Но нет, кровать отмечается где-то тут. А, вот же еще курятник. Я думаю, надо чуть пораньше выдвинуться, затемно, проникнуть в дом, насыпать им говна в кашу. Этот хер, наверное, уйдет, а это, наверное, уснет. И я ее вынесу. Ну, как-то так.